Trans people are everywhere, but most people just don't know it. Some of the time, they themselves don't even know it. This documentary is dedicated to showing our viewers what a trans person really goes through to finally arrive on the other side of the gender fence. Though contrary to popular belief, there are many different types of gender variants. For example, there are many feminine males and masculine females. Gender is a way in which everyone expresses themselves according to various societal influences. Sexuality is the sexual orientation of an individual. There are a vast amount of genders and sexualities out there, but as a society we only believe in the binary, male or female, gay or straight. We're dedicated to showing our viewers how these misconceptions are wrong and may even be harmful to an individual. Statistics show that as many as 70% of children who are uncertain about their gender are subject to bullying. A staggering 9 out of 10 transgender employees experience discrimination or harassment in their workplace. Trans people are at a greater risk of depression, self-harm and suicide. An NHS survey consisting of 872 trans people found that 1/3 of respondents had considered suicide, considerably higher than the general population. Here we will interview Dan, a young 21-year-old transgender male. We will ask him how his experiences have been, how far he has transitioned, and how far he has yet to go. So here we have Dan, who's been so kind as to accept an interview with us. We're going to ask him a few questions that a few people have posted to us. So forgive me if I read off my tablet here. So, how far into your transition are you, Dan?
I've been living as male now for 5 years. I changed my name legally in 2011, and then I've been on hormones since April this year.
Out of curiosity, how easy was it to change your name?
Well, internet. Just go on Dpol, and they send you a form within like a couple of days. Then you just get a witness to sign it, and then it's done.
So, what age did you realise that you wanted to transition?
Well, I didn't really know there was like a name for transition. I thought it was normal to feel like a guy, but like once I knew like there was an actual word for it, I fully committed myself to the transition in 2011.
So, at what age did you really start talking to people about what you were feeling at the time?
Well, when I like started puberty, I knew something was wrong, so I asked some of my guy friends if like the girls' like time of the month was happening to them, and it wasn't, so I knew something was wrong then.
So who did you actually first tell?
I told my best friend Daniel that I was gonna transition fully, and he was awesome about it.
So how are your friends and family?
Well, my family don't accept me, but my friends, some of my friends are great with it. Like my best friend and his family, like they're amazing.
So at what point did you actually stop identifying as female and go full time?
When I was about 15, like I was like living as male to all my friends, but my family wasn't until I was 18.
So how did you pick the name?
Well, me and my ex wrote down a list of names beginning with D because I didn't want to change the first letter because my birth name began with a D, and then my best friend's called Daniel and I look up to him loads, and so I took the name Daniel.
How long is the process of transitioning?
Transition never ends. I'll be taking hormones for the rest of my life. So
you're on testosterone now in your hormones. When you first got them, what was it like?
Well, like when like the woman at the gender clinic said that she was gonna like prescribe me them, I just burst out crying because it was like 4 years of fighting, and like to have the box in my hand, it was crazy. I can't put it into words how it made me feel. It was just amazing.
When people use the wrong pronouns, How does that make you feel, whether it's out of ignorance or even arrogance?
It pisses me off, like, because I'm only trying to live my life. Like, it's got nothing to do with them. At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what I identify as. Like, well, I used to cope by self-harming, but like I haven't self-harmed in weeks, so I just like try and like go over my head now.
How do people generally react when they find out that you're transgender?
Well, there'll be like some people will be like, really? Like, I would never knew. And then some people go out of the way. Like, as soon as they know that I'm trans, they'll try and find out my birth name and they'll call me she and her just to piss me off.
So, have you experienced much hate crime?
Yeah, a lot of, like, there's been 2 serious cases of hate crime.
Really? So, did you report it and what came of it?
Yeah, I reported the first one, and the police officer that dealt with it had no trans awareness, anything at all. And the case got closed, nothing got done. Then the second time, the first police officer that dealt with it, he was great. And then as soon as he passed it over to someone else, nothing got done. Case closed.
So you just wish that they could have done more?
Yeah, a lot more.
So how has it impacted your employment?
Well, because of where I live, it's such a small town and they're really small-minded, so it's crap.
So do you tell potential employers that you're transgender?
No, because I don't see why I should have to. I'd only like tell them if I got the job, just because I've got appointments at the gender clinic and surgery.
Speaking of surgery, how important is it to you?
Very important, definitely, to get my chest removed and a hysterectomy. That's my main goal.
So what do you fear most about them?
Well, nothing about like top surgery or a hysterectomy, it's just that bottom surgery. Like, I don't think medicines came that far to give me the results that I want.
Yeah. So, how much of the hormones affected you mentally?
Mentally, like, since starting them, I'm a lot more happy and I'm confident in myself and that, but like emotionally, like, I can't cry. If I'm upset, I can't cry. Like, I just get angry and frustrated.
It builds up.
Yeah.
So, what are you most looking forward to after your surgeries?
Being able to go swimming.
Your lifelong dream?
Yeah.
What's been the hardest part of your transition so far?
Definitely my family not accepting me and like people giving me shit for it.
So where have you found the most support?
Recently it's been the film course that I'm on. Like, the tutors and the staff here are amazing, and the people on the course as well.
Yeah. So here's a sore point that for many transgender individuals, but how do you feel about parenting a child in the future?
I want to be a dad. Like, that's it. Like,
yeah.
I want to be a dad one day.
So do you have anything else you want to say?
No, just thanks for taking the time to interview me.
Thank you. So there you have it. We now know Dan's own personal experiences of transition and how he has actually coped with all the social stigma associated with being transgender. Hopefully this has alleviated many questions in relation to what a transgender person goes through. Dan has always been a boy, and gender is not something that is defined by the body, but of the mind. As the series progresses, we'll be interviewing various different transgender people and their own take on life.